is my slam time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my slam time. Gonna mess up your whole mind. This is my slam time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my slam time. Gonna mess up your whole mind.
Hello and welcome to EWA, Elite Wrestling Alliance, and we are live. It's not come up on the screen yet, but I know where we are. We are in Ohio. So we have moved to Cleveland, to be more specific. And as always, our show is brought to you by, theme song wise at least, by Pulverize. So thank you, Pulverize, for Slam Time off the album Chaos Games. You can get that album in the description below. As always, support Pulverize to thank them for our awesome theme song. And yeah, we're joined in the ring by Emir Blackbane Costello, who's he said he's come out here to give thanks. No, you've come out here because you've been told to by management, but go on. I mean, that's a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch there, Blackbane. Innocent. Okay. I seem to remember you getting up from the... He's got a selective memory, this man. I don't believe any physical contact was actually made, but... This is definitely an alternative version of events, guys. I'm sure you guys remember from last week. That bit's sort of true. He did rush the ring, yes. Mammoth did come down to the ring and attack Taylor Osborne and Thorne. Oh, okay. He does come out and admit it. It's been speculation for a while now. So, and yeah, there's no doubt in Mammoth's game has improved. Yeah, give him credit for that. Oh, that's a bold prediction. EWA champion. Bravely attacking from behind. Yes, Tornado will come out and help his brothers in front hinged, of course. Again, was he? I don't know. We're hearing an alternative version of events here, guys. Twisting facts. Yeah, the masked attackers. We need to hear more about them, please. I want to know who they were. He just can't resist a little short joke or two, can he? Can't resist it. Outside of EWA. Oh, that's interesting. So these aren't members of the EWA roster. Who are they? He's doing it. He's bigging them up. He's bigging them up. He must be confident in his acquisitions. Again, with the little cheap shots at front hinged, come to expect them. Oh, are we going to meet them now? Come on, you've built it long enough now, Blackbane. Come on, who is it? Primetime Derek Cole and the Pinnacle of Honor, Lancelot. That seems like an ironic nickname based on their actions last week. The Cole Reapers. And they're apparently coming out here right now. And, oh, Blackbane's finally decided to come over here and join us at the announce desk. That's very good of him. You got your headset on yet, partner? Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. You know, as a matter of fact, I do have my headset on, man. Pardon me, but I'm obviously the hardest working man in the industry. And let me tell you something. The landscape has just changed, okay? And Fun Hinged, they're just a small bump in the road. After we're done with the clowns and we sent them back to the circus on their little short bus, we're going to go after whoever holds the most coveted prize in the business. And that's the EWA World Heavyweight Championship. you know something else? This isn't on me, okay? And this isn't on my boys in the ring right now. This is on each and every one of you. After we leave your clowns broken in this ring and Mammoth goes on to become champion, I want you all to remember one thing. You wanted this.
What do you mean we wanted this? Who wanted this? Who wanted you to attack Funhinged last week? What does that mean?
Well, what does anybody expect to happen? You know, they come out here week after week. They terrorize, they make fun in the ring, they make light of and disrespect this industry. Just have a look at them. And you know what? Listen, when one thing happens, there's going to be a natural reaction. And everybody, the people in the crowd, people at home, they cheer Funhinged and they worship Taylor Osborne. They wanted this, okay? Because when a group like this pops up, there's only one logical reaction, and that is Mammoth and the Coal Reapers.
I mean, I take your word for it, but yeah, we have a hell of a match out here. We're going to have a tag team match. Mammoth accompanied the Coal Reapers and Taylor Osborne accompanying Tornado and Thorn. We're going to have some tag team action to kick off, and it's going to be a hell of a match. If look at Mammoth getting right in the faces of Funhinged on the sort of opposition side of the ring, if you like. He's not supposed to be around there. Get back to your side. But this is going to be an interesting match after what happened last week. If you guys didn't watch, then you need to go back and check it out. If your memory's failing you, Blackbane got up from the announce desk and distracted Taylor Osborne and Thorn after their victory last week in a tag team match, and then Mammoth attacked from behind, and then this almighty brawl broke out between Funhinged and Mammoth, and then a masked version of Derek Cole and Lancelot came out, and Mammoth and the Coal Reapers ended up clearing house on Funhinged, but Funhinged none too impressed, and we're having a tag team match. But good start from Lancelot here. I'll try and keep this as impartial as possible. I'm sure Blackbane will not promise the same.
I will absolutely keep it impartial. By the way, Lancelot, just have a look at him. He can't be touched. Nobody can do anything to the man. Even if he's been picked up on Scoop Slam, it's because he wanted to be on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done the research worldwide that you clearly have, scouring for some backup for your little arrangement with Mammoth here. But I don't think you can be in this game without having at least heard of Lancelot and Derek Cole, and they come with a reputation, as you said in the ring. You know, they've won tag titles everywhere there's been tag titles to win, and they're no joke on their own either. They've both won plenty of singles accolades, and now they're here in EWA helping you out. Oh, but Derek Cole just got double super kicked in the face.
Yeah, you know, I wonder how Funhinged feels knowing that they can't just have a 3-on-1 anymore, and that they actually have to fight with even odds.
I mean, Mammoth came looking for the fight. You and Mammoth, I mean, I know you had a plan, but Funhinged didn't even look at you until you got up from the announce desk last week. You got super alternative history going on in your head there at the moment.
Well, you've got an interesting version of the story. I mean, partner, for Christ's sake, I was sitting right next to you. I'm completely innocent here, and you're acting like we somehow ambushed Funhinged.
That's exactly what happened, yes. You got up, you distracted them, and then Mammoth came and hit Taylor Osborne from behind and knocked him into the announce desk, and then the brawl broke out. But
I distracted Thorn. Thorn's whole life is a distraction.
I mean, yes, Funhinged are very distracting, I will give you that. You know, some would use the word entertaining instead, but kind of interchangeable in this context, in a professional wrestling environment, but nonetheless, I'm not sure they deserve the attack from behind. You've kind of had it in for them since day one of EWA, making jokes at their expense and what have you.
Jokes? Listen, it's not my fault that my boys came in last week and made short work of them.
Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is. Well, both teams looking like pretty well-oiled machines at the moment. Both teams getting tags in and out at the moment, but currently the legal men are Thorn and Lancelot. No, sorry, my mistake. Tornado and Lancelot. The tags have been so fluid, I've lost track of who's legal and who's not. But both legal men actually struggling at the moment. Oh, and then Thorn, look at that. Lancelot was on their side of the ring, sweeps his leg off.
Look at that.
I almost can't blame them. You know, it's good teamwork anyway, like within the context of a match, I will allow a little bit of leeway on the tag team rules if it's good teamwork, but there's the extra, on both sides, but there's the extra incentive from Funhinge feeling very much blindsided last week. You know, they're not above taking a couple of cheap shots. Referee, ref, turn around. Mammoth just pulled down Tornado off the apron, and we've got a bit of a picture-in-picture going on as Taylor goes over to Mammoth. Mammoth knows while the referee's looking, he can't put hands on Thorn. Thorn tries to grab Mammoth. Mammoth just shakes him off because of the massive size of it.
That was amazing.
There's two things to keep an eye on now. There's an actual match going on, and Taylor Osborne, I'll get there in the end, and Mammoth are brawling as well. Derek Cole gets tagged in the ring. This is chaos. Those two are just supposed to be acting as managers, and they're having as much of a match as anyone else now. Scoop slam on the outside. We can kind of see them on the main camera now. So we've got rid of the picture-in-picture temporarily. But it may be back depending on what happens between these two. Tornado dominating exactly Derek Cole inside the ring. Go on, tell me what's going to happen.
Mammoth is going to quite easily squash Taylor Osborne. Like, you see the way he slapped Taylor Osborne just now? What did the five fingers say to the face? Taylor?
But Taylor's got some fight in him. He's fighting back against Mammoth. Oh, that was a knife-edge chop from Mammoth. But, yeah, Taylor's no slouch. Mammoth's going to have to put up a hell of a fight. Now in the ring, we've got Derek Cole hitting a UTO or MSFTO, depending on Tornado. You got to believe that's deliberate. And then on the outside, look at Taylor Osborne taking Mammoth down.
Yeah, I agree that Taylor's no slouch, because based on his height, how would you even know if he was slouching?
Oh, wow.
There'd be hardly any movement.
I want to point out, by the way, as is the historic pattern with Mammoth, he got pretty much straight back up from that move from Taylor Osborne. He's a hard man to keep down, giving credit where it's due. Nice scorpion kick in the ring by Thorn. There's so much to keep an eye on in this match. There's a wild brawl happening outside. Mammoth dragging Taylor all over the place at the moment. Thorn with the upper hand on Derek Cole in the ring. This is just absolute chaos to start. We need a way of controlling these teams, like letting them settle the differences, but with some semblance of control would be nice.
You know what? This is control, okay? This is my boys, Mammoth and the Cole Reapers, showing the EWA universe what it looks like to control Funhinged.
I mean, at the moment, yeah, they do have the upper hand. Nice super kick by Derek Cole. Lancelot goes for the pin off it. Tornado's in. Derek Cole going to intercept the attempt to break up the pin. Taylor can't help. Oh, Thorn kicks out, though, of the super kick at 2. And Derek Cole's taken out. Tornado got the upper hand on that. And he's going to have to recover on the outside while Tornado's in his corner looking down on him. Has he got something else planned? No, he's going to play the good tag partner instead. Good strategy there. Now, is Mammoth finally walking away? Thorn's right there as well, but the referee's looking. He can't touch Thorn. No, he comes back after Taylor Osborne.
When have you ever known Mammoth to walk away from a fight? Come on now.
Yeah, maybe when he's done with one. I don't know. Like, he might have felt like he was finished, but Taylor started to stir, and Mammoth seems to have had enough now. Thorn's back in the ring, not taking the count-out loss. Did Tornado and Derek Cole having a bit of a brawl near the Funhinge corner as well? I think once Derek Cole recovered, he went after Tornado. Good teamwork on both sides, to be perfectly frank about that. But Derek Cole realising he lost that fight against Tornado a couple of times, he's best served getting back into his corner and helping his partner. Tornado got the tag. Lancelot fighting both men off at the moment. There's only so long you're going to manage that. There's a strike to the back. And Mammoth and Taylor still going at it on the outside. This is getting ridiculous. We've got them back on screen again. Every time the cameramen pick up something between them, they're putting them back on screen, which is great of them, great of the production truck to do. Oh, nice knee to Tornado's face by Lancelot in the ring off the second rope.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this display of athletics. I've never seen anything more beautiful.
There goes Thorn off the apron. Good move by Lancelot. Take out the illegal man as well. But Tornado fighting back against Derek Cole in the ring. One could argue Tornado has mostly had Derek Cole's number in this match. You know, as far as back and forth one-on-one encounters has gone. He's had the upper hand. Goes to the pin. Lancelot doesn't come in to break it up. He had confidence in Derek Cole to kick out, and he does at 1. Look at how far the ramp Mammoth and Taylor Osborne have got now. This is getting crazy. In fact, I think we can afford to, cut away from them. Let's get security on that. Let's let them deal with that as they get nearer and nearer to the back. And let's just focus on the tag match, shall we, partner? Sorry, you've not even managed to get many words in because I've been trying to call everything that's happening all over the arena. But now we're back to a normal tag match. I think we can have a bit more back and forth.
I'm just enjoying what's happening, and you're right. Taylor and Mammoth were pretty far up the ramp. Taylor's little legs were probably so tired.
Yeah. God's sake. Nice powerbomb into a neckbreaker combination by the Coal Reapers there. Great tag team. Like I say, if you're in this game, you've probably heard of them. You know, the reputation does precede them, and they're showing why in this match, you know. But Fun Hinged also showing they're not to be trifled with either. They're a hell of a team on their own. And showing from last week, we had Thorn and Taylor successful in tag team action. This week, we've got Thorn and Tornado teaming up, and you know, the interchangeable parts, which is a really good feature for a faction to have, to all be able to work together as a team.
Look how beautiful the Coal Reapers are working together. I mean, Lancelot can't even be touched at this point.
Oh, and that's a pop-up powerbomb by Lancelot. And he goes for the pin. Thorn's back in the ring. Oh, Derek Cole takes it out just as he was about to break up the pin. And the Coal Reapers debut with a win on EWA.
Yes. Come on. I mean, is anybody even the slightest bit surprised? Come on, we all knew how this would end up.
I mean, I talked about how anyone in this industry probably has heard of them, but a lot of the fans watching, you know, may not have done. Let's not assume they've watched any other sort of places. So, you know, maybe some fans are surprised by that. Oh, now what's happening backstage? We've got enough issues. Security's busy sorting out Mammoth and Taylor Osborne. Coyote Cody going after Sam Knight backstage. What's this about? Coyote Cody's just on a bit of a rampage, I think, at the moment with his current issues he's been having with Fun Hinged and just with getting a match won in general. And he's taking it out on the new guy, Sam Knight. But Sam Knight fighting back, showing he's got some fight in him. What do you make of this backstage?
Now, I'll tell you one thing. You got to be careful just picking out a random person that you think that you can kind of run through, because you don't even understand the size of the fight that might be in that dog. And right now, Coyote Cody is finding out the hard way.
Yeah, especially someone who's pretty new to the EWA, like Sam Knight. You know, you might not have the measure of them just yet. Look at Coyote Cody pick up that. It's a set of shelves. Look at how he's swinging it. I wouldn't want to guess how much that weighs, but I don't think I'd be swinging that around like that. That's some strength. Oh, to the face.
He's trying to end his career. We got to get somebody back there.
Security's tied up with your boy Mammoth and Taylor Osborne at the moment, so these two free to brawl backstage into a locker room. Seems to be empty. We do have multiple locker rooms backstage.
I can't help it that security and everybody else wants Mammoth's autograph. They'll wait in line just like the fans.
Oh yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, of course. But look at this back and forth brawl in the locker room, just punching each other in the face, back and forth. Cody gets the upper hand. Oh! He drops him backstage. That's not gonna tickle. Face first. Oof. I think Sam Knight got out of the way of that bin, but only just.
Cody is really trying to hurt this man. What has he done to him?
I think he was just the wrong person in the wrong place. Oh, at the wrong time, and that's a deadline. Let's cut away from that. Let's get some medical personnel back there. Let's get them split. Let's get on with the next match, shall we, partner? That was a brutal backstage attack by Cody. Sam Knight put up a good fight, but Cody is just mad at the moment, and we're seeing that there. Just attacking Sam Knight backstage.
This has been an exciting start to the show. I gotta say, man, my blood is pumping right now.
We've had a couple of debuts that are exciting for anyone who knows this industry. You know, they are big acquisitions. I'll give you that, partner. We've had a brawl to the back during a tag match. We've had a backstage brawl while security were busy with that one. Let's see if we get some semblance of order in this next match, shall we?
Let's see. And by the way, EWA management, I want to have a conversation later, you know, perhaps about a raise, because we're not going to act like I didn't just bring the two biggest free agents that exist to EWA.
Well, I mean, that's for you to discuss with management. Like, that's not for me to get involved with. But certainly, if you're taking on a bit of a management capacity, I mean, shouldn't you be taking a cut from them for getting them a job? Is that not how it used to work in the old days?
Oh no! This isn't the old days, and that's what Unhinged has to realize. This is a brand new day, a new era, and we are gonna own this place.
Well, bold claim. Now, someone who may want to step in your way at some point, claiming to own this place, someone who's been doing very well in EWA, CJ, and these two are going to be tag partners tonight, Frost and CJ. Sort of a bit of a ragtag team, but the other team is as well. They're just being put together to put on a display for the fans and get some issues worked out. So we have realised that Shane Andrews is asked for some time to talk next week. He's going to be talking about his issue. He's been having a good run in EWA, but he's got a bit of something hanging over his head at the moment, and that's on the very first episode. He lost to Frost, and he wants to put right that loss, so he's going to be involved in this tag match as well. I don't think he'll settle for a victory in a tag match as like an equaliser, but it would certainly, put him in a better mood. So Frost and CJ are going to team up against Shane Andrews, and he's going to have a tag partner as well, who will be coming out next. And we'll see how these guys get along. And hopefully there's a bit more, there's no chaos happening around ringside during this tag match like the last one.
And let me tell you why I love a guy like Shane Andrews. It's because he is a real competitor. I mean, we're talking about a guy who took a loss in the first week, and he hasn't been able to sleep right since. That's all he could think about. He's not going to stop until he makes it right.
And here's his tag partner now, Lee Toki, who's made quite... This should be quite a popular team for you. I mean, they're quite popular with the fans, and you and the fans don't always see eye to eye on who you like, but you have sung the praises of both Lee Toki and Shane Andrews quite a bit in the past, so you should enjoy this team. But I seem to recall you don't seem to mind any of the participants in this tag match.
No, not at all. I think everybody's great, especially the Golden Nightmare, Lee Toki. He's not one to be messed with. He's got on his full body of armor here, and he's going to tear it up as soon as that bell rings.
So, Lee Toki out here. We know who we're waiting on. The final member of this match is going to be Shane Andrews. Let's get him out here. And obviously everyone knows it's become a bit of a meme, a bit of a running joke, how much of a fan you are of Shane Andrews. And
well, I mean, come on now, right? the pinnacle of beautiful. I mean, you ever seen a better looking man in your life? Just have a look at him.
It's a good job we don't broadcast this on a Monday. Man Crush Monday would be all over the place. But yeah, Shane Andrews coming out full of confidence as always, but does have that chip on his shoulder. He wants to get his win back over Frost, so have to think he'll be wanting to beat Frost if he's going to win this match. But don't take your eye off the ball, Shane, and turn down the opportunity to pick up a win on CJ if that opportunity presents itself. A win is a win is a win. There's always another day to get your win back on Frost. So could that be the downfall of this team?
Yeah, I always find it interesting how some guys, they pick one thing and they focus on it. They don't let it go. I mean, it makes you think of Coyote Cody. You can't just seem to get thorn out of his head. But hopefully Shane Andrews won't travel down that path.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to see Shane Andrews attacking someone backstage in a few weeks. We want him to stay on the up and up. He's very popular with the fans, very popular with my broadcast partner for sure. And I like it. I like everyone involved in this match. They're all, like you said, you used the term real competitors. All four of these men just want to get in there, wrestle matches and win matches, and that's what they're all about. And I can appreciate that.
I can appreciate it too, and I'm expecting to see a full display of athletics here. One more time, this is Shane Andrews. Look at that mustache. Look how his hair just glows.
Oh my god. I don't know how to respond. But let's get this tag match underway. We're starting off with Frost and Lee Toki, which does surprise me. Shane Andrews maybe keeping his eye on the ball somewhat. The winner's a win mentality of knowing maybe if he started against Frost he might be a bit too fixated. So playing the long game, playing a bit strategic here, and allowing his partner to start it out. What do you make of that decision? Who would, if you were both teams, if you were managing, you're getting into the management game now, if you were managing each team one at a time, who would you have told to start this match? Frost and CJ first. Who would you have
I would
had start the
definitely
match?
have. Well, I mean, Frost and CJ. I think the idea is they're just out here to have a match. I don't know that Frost has any thoughts about. I mean, he picked up a win and he moved on with his life, so he probably doesn't even remember the match, you know. But Shane Andrews, he can't stop thinking about it. It makes sense that Lee Toki started for me, because Shane Andrews, he's gonna want to get into Frost's head, you know. The one way to do that is to do what's unexpected. Send your tag team partner in there first. Let him wear Frost down a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're good and ready, when Frost least suspects it, then you go in there and start exacting some revenge. Just punch him right in his face.
Yep, we often hear wrestling referred to as the human game of chess, so yeah, maybe he is playing the strategic long game here. But he'll want to, no doubt, pick up the win for his team eventually over Frost if he has the choice. Oh, CJ gets the tag as Frost is leaning in their corner, struggling a little bit, and now it's CJ and Lee Toki. CJ the fresher of the two, with a knee to the face. But Lee Toki fighting back, and CJ fighting back. Look at this, going back and forth. Oh, knee to the face.
Oh.
I think his shin kind of caught the chest armor, though. He stumbled a bit there.
Yeah, I'd like to say a lesser man might have been taken down to at least one knee, but Lee Toki taking these shots, you know, right on the chin maybe, and just standing tall.
Yeah, Lee Toki, a hard man to knock off his feet. You know, especially with that extra armor that he does wear. It's not covering his whole body. It's not unsporting, I don't think, but it adds a certain protective layer to his chest that someone like Shane Andrews with his bare chest, or even someone like CJ or Frost with just a standard issue kind of tight-fitting shirt on, aren't going to get. You know, it's going to make a difference over the course of a match, I would think.
Yeah, I agree as well.
James dropped by CJ early in the match to be hitting such a big move, so maybe trying to put Lee Toki away without ever allowing Shane Andrews to get into the match. That's the dream as a tag team competitor, right, partner? That's what you're aiming for. You want one man isolated and the other one never really gets involved.
That is the dream, and I think when you're CJ, you know, you're out here just to get a chance to, you know, to put your skills on display. There's nothing personal here happening for you, and you're gonna remind everybody, especially how far CJ got in the title tournament. You know, nearly winning the whole thing. He's like, hey, you're not gonna. The story may not be Frost and Shane Andrews, just CJ's out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, CJ is no one to be sniffed at. He was the final man defeated in the EWA Championship tournament, the runner-up, if you could term it like that. He made the final of the Double Jeopardy match. He was the closest person to being EWA champion, not named Drake Doobie. You know, absolutely there's no oversight going on here. I'm just sort of outlining the issue between, well, I'd say between Shane Andrews and Frost, but I think it's a reasonably one-way issue. I think it's a respectful issue. I think, you know, I don't think Shane Andrews has anything personal against Frost. I think he just wants to prove he's the best, and he's had a bit of a bump in the road with Frost beating him in the first week, and he has to get that win back to prove he's the best. You can't be the best if there's someone with a win over you that you've never got the win back. You can't be categorically the best, you know.
Or at least tries, and that really speaks to the standard which Shane Andrews holds himself to. He expects so much of himself, and let me tell you something. You know, this is proof to me that he is on his way to someday becoming a great champion here in EWA.
Yeah, and speaking of... Lee Toki, went for CJ, but CJ gets out the way. Trying the sneak attack there to help his partner out. All fair in tag team matches. You got 5 seconds in the ring as the illegal man. And the referee's being quite lenient with this, probably because he's given up already after that first opening tag match where it was just anything goes, it seems. But he's already just given up. He's like, do what you want. But no, we were talking about, you know, that getting the win back. And CJ, we should talk about, has got the win back on Drake Doobie in a one-on-one match, and now is added to the EWA Championship match at the upcoming Sunday Special next week. It will be a triple threat match. CJ, Drake Doobie, and Payne. What a match that's going to be. 3 of EWA's absolute best, no doubt about that. And CJ going to want to build some momentum towards that match here. Only this match and potentially one next week, and then it's title match time.
Yeah, I really hadn't considered that, but it's such a brilliant point that you bring up.
Oh,
There may be something happening with Shane Andrews and Frost, but CJ, he's got to remind people, who he is, and take some great momentum going into his, second championship opportunity.
yeah, second opportunity. He's got to win this one, otherwise surely it's back of the line. It's you get two opportunities, don't win either of them. You kind of making a claim to not be in line for the title, really, aren't you there? So it's a lot of pressure on CJ coming up next week. By the way, I just want to point out, while you were discussing CJ's upcoming title match, Shane Andrews, it's become a bit of a trademark of his opponent on the top rope. I remember him hitting it against Alan Clark and us pretty much losing our minds over it. Running up the top rope and hitting an overhead belly-to-belly suplex off the top. I think you talked about energy of a cat, and you've been mocked by that for that line since then by Taylor Osborne. But that's agility of a cat for sure for Shane Andrews. Just running the ropes like it's a flat surface that he can just stand anywhere on, and then just throwing his opponent 3/4 of the way across the ring. Incredible. And speaking of incredible, look at the strength by Lee Toki. Just gorilla pressing multiple times a man the size of CJ. Incredible.
Yeah, I'll tell you one quick thing about Taylor Osborne, and I promise everybody out there, I'm not going to spend this whole episode talking about Taylor. I'll keep it short. But I do understand that Taylor is not a man that easily forgets, and so it brings up the fact that I said that somebody had the energy of a cat. But because he doesn't easily forget, he's definitely not going to forget the butt kicking that he and his brothers took tonight.
Yeah, the 2 weeks in a row, Funhinged have lost out at the hands of your little group. I'm not sure if you guys give yourselves a name. Oh, speaking of Taylor Osborne, there's a little bit of a shout out to Taylor there by Lee Toki, it seems, or I don't know. I'd say it's probably not mockery. It's just I don't know what to make of that. Just a bit of a nod, I guess.
Careful, Lee Toki. I like you. Let's not put that in jeopardy.
And speaking of not being careful, going for that pin a bit too close to CJ's corner there. Frost able to break it up and gets the shot off on Shane Andrews as well. So Shane Andrews currently out of commission for his partner. Frost back in to break up the submission, the camel clutch as well. Lee Toki, you gotta be a little bit more strategic in tag team action, really. You've got another man to watch out for on the outside. Oh, he goes after Frost, and Frost, sunset flip. He can't pin the man. Referee's not going to count. He just looks at him like, what you doing? But Frost gets one over on Lee Toki, but not enough to help CJ actually recover in time. Oh, stiff right hand. What a shot by Lee Toki. I think might have just knocked CJ clean out. And now knocks Frost off the apron, goes for the pin on CJ. Shane Andrews is in to guard. Oh, CJ kicks out.
It's worth noting how tough it is for these competitors, because let's keep it real. These are 4 singles competitors that, it's not that they don't know how to tag team wrestle. They just don't have to do it very often, and they forget. They can't just pin anybody when they want. They forget, they go for a pinfall. Somebody else might come in and interrupt it. It gets difficult.
Yeah, so to give an analogy from a completely different area than professional wrestling, gaming. I have played computer games in the past, like PlayStation games, not sponsored, just to give an example, with my mum, and I can explain to her what the buttons do, and she can then repeat back to me what the buttons do. But then, when she goes to press a button, she has to look down to see which one's triangle, which one's circle, which one's square. So it's not instinctive. So I have the advantage because I know that. And I think that could be applied here in terms of being a singles wrestler in a tag team environment. Their instincts are singles wrestler instincts, not tag team wrestler instincts. There's a big divide there. Like, if you're a singles wrestler and you and your opponent are down, you tend to crawl towards them and try and maintain that upper hand. When you're a tag team wrestler, you might crawl away from them towards your tag partner and try and get the tag. Just little things like that, when you're not able to think clearly because you've just been smacked in the head, they make a big difference when you're a singles wrestler. Oh! And by the way, we're seeing the two that we've wanted to see go at it now, Shane Andrews and Frost, the legal men. But yeah, it's an interesting point about how it's not... They know how to wrestle tag matches, but it's not instinctive for them, and it's a big difference.
You're right, and it's a concept that's referred to as muscle memory.
Yes.
As you mentioned, when we're kind of, out on our feet and our pure instincts just take over and muscle memory happens, our body just does what it normally would do in that situation. And when you're a singles competitor, you're not always gonna automatically choose the thing that a tag person would do.
Hey, but speaking of doing smart things that a tag person would do, Lee Toki... Oh! Couple of things there. He distracted the referee from the initial pinfall by Frost, which is a veteran tag team move, if I'm honest. And then look how he springboarded into the ring to make sure he got the breakup with the leg drop. I mean, he caught the ref as well. Unlucky, wrong place, wrong time ref. He seems to do that a lot. But a couple of good tag team moves by Lee Toki as the illegal man there. So, you know, like we talked about, when you've got a clear head, you're the illegal man standing on the apron. You know what to do. You can think of these things. It's in that heat of the moment when you've just been smacked in the face. How do you react? Do you react like a singles wrestler or like a tag team wrestler?
Okay, is the referee dead? Why are they checking on him?
I hope not. We only have one. It's always the same guy refereeing the matches. Oh, he's moving. Good. Good. I was going to say, you've been busy so far tonight, partner. You might have to stick a stripy shirt on and jump in there.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
man.
And there's the Sleepmaker, and the referee comes round. Shane Andrews' partner, Lee Toki's out on the outside. Oh, he kicks out at 2.
Yeah, that was so close, so close.
Great resiliency by Shane Andrews. That Sleepmaker's put many a man away, including the EWA champion. So, no mean feat to kick out of it. So, kudos to Shane Andrews. And now look at that. That's good tag team wrestling. He takes his opponent down. He's taken a bit of a beating over the last few minutes, and he gets the tag. Good tag team wrestling by these relatively inexperienced tag team wrestlers. And now we're going to see a double team.
Shane Andrews kicked out of a move that put Drake Doobie down. And I think that's not taking anything away from Drake Doobie. He's obviously an amazing champion, but I think it speaks to how serious Shane Andrews is about not taking another loss here in EWA.
Yeah, I mean, that move was put down. I can't list absolutely everyone, but I know for a fact it's put down the EWA champion Drake Doobie and the other number one contender Payne. Like, in one-on-one matches, you know, so it's a hell of a move. Like, the other 2 participants in the EWA Championship match next week have been put down by it. Oh, there's one to Lee Toki. It comes from out of nowhere as well, that Sleepmaker. Oh, he tries to knock Shane Andrews off the apron, and Andrews is wise to it, chooses to duck down instead. Runs in, breaks it up. Great tag team wrestling again. We were talking these guys down, saying they don't know how to tag team wrestle as well as an established tag team, but they're doing their partners proud at the moment, both teams.
Yeah, I think they've acclimated. And my favorite thing was the CJ ran at Shane Andrews. Shane Andrews jumped down immediately. He just looked at him like, really, dude?
Yeah, I saw that coming. But yeah, we should probably talk about, I mean, I know it's not this match, but let's talk about one of the participants in this match. Next week, CJ, triple threat match for EWA Championship. He's beaten both men one-on-one. I know a triple threat is a completely different environment, but God, he's got to feel confident going into a match with 2 men he's beaten. He's the only man to have pinned Drake Doobie, and he beat Payne to qualify for the championship match at the last Sunday special.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, he probably feels like he should be the EWA champion right now. So he's coming in with an absolute chip on his shoulder, and he may feel like this is his time, and he's not going to let anybody stop him.
Yeah, he may be kind of wishing this was a one-on-one match because he's beaten Drake Doobie one-on-one and lost to him in a multi-man match. Could history repeat itself? Will Drake Doobie pick up the win through the fact that it's a multi-man match? Has CJ got his number one-on-one? You know, it's all these questions. Oh, Frost going for an impressive Dragon Sleeper type move, but again, Shane Andrews in to break it up. He doesn't want to lose here.
With Drake Doobie, you know, one of the toughest things is, listen, getting to the top is tough, but the only thing tougher is staying at the top, because you've got the richest prize in the business of wrestling, and that's the EWA World Heavyweight Championship. But everybody beneath you, their hunger has not been satiated. These guys are starving, and they want that belt. Yeah,
you've not only got the richest prize, you've got the biggest target on your back. You know, it's a hell of a job being champion. Everyone wants to fight you. Everyone wants to beat you more than they want to beat pretty much anyone else. Like, there's exceptions. You know, like at the moment, I'm pretty sure Unhinged would choose a victory over your guys, over a victory with Drake. But what about when that issue is finished? You can guarantee all 6 guys are then going to turn their attention back to Drake Doobie. Thorne's got that briefcase. You know, you've already said, you know, Mammoth's looking eyeballing that championship once he's done with Unhinged. Lancelot and Derek Cole have won singles accolades everywhere they've been, you know, too many to count, you know, so they've got to have an eye on the EWA Championship once they're done with this current issue. You know, just everyone wants to finish whatever their current rivalry or dispute is then going to default to looking at Drake Doobie.
Yeah, or whoever the champion may be at the time,
Currently
and it's
Drake
worth
Doobie,
noting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that championship is so prestigious, the EWA championship, that, listen, even if Mammoth, or should I say even when Mammoth becomes the champion, that the Coal Reapers, they won't have the belt themselves, but just to have the opportunity to stand next to it, they'll accept that. That's how amazing that belt is.
Oof, that's a strong claim. We'll see how strongly that alliance holds up if that situation comes about where one member of the team holds the title. Will the others start to look at them with jealous eyes? We will have to wait and see. But Frost taking advantage of that 5 count that you get as the illegal man, coming in and stopping Lee Toki from doing his shenanigans in the middle of the ring. Lee Toki likes to play up for the fans a little bit, I've noticed. He's quite businesslike in a lot of senses, his way to the ring, but once he's in there, he does a few pelvic thrusts and jumping around on his hands and stuff. He likes to have a little bit of fun. It's good to see a sense of humour on such a talented and mostly serious competitor. Yeah,
I agree, and every time he does the pelvic thrust, I just laugh to myself because it's just, Jesus Christ, man.
in the hands of anyone else, metaphorically speaking, not literally in anyone's hands, hopefully, it would be deemed pretty disrespectful, but it just seems to be part of his fun-loving personality. He just likes to have a bit of fun when he's got the upper hand in a match, and as long as he doesn't take it to extremes and it doesn't start costing him matches, I don't see much issue with it.
Yeah, neither do I. When you're wrestling competitively, you gotta know how to entertain along the way and get some of these members of the EWA universe behind you.
Yeah, and the alternative is to, if you're the sort of person who thrives on adversity, which you seem to be, turn the fans against you, and use that negative energy to your advantage. There's 2 ways of approaching it, and different strokes for different folks kind of thing. Like, look at this, he's got both men in trouble, so he has a little bit of a jump and a dance. Oh, but that one may just have cost him, because it gave Frost enough time to recover. But look at this, straight back on the offense. Takes down Frost. He's doing a good job of taking out both men at the moment. Shane Andrews has been in that corner for a while. Lee Toki might want to think about making a tag.
And by the way, there's something to be said about having the attitude of not really caring what other people think. It's not easy, but it's necessary because, for example, a guy like Lee Toki...
Pin attempt 2.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh! CJ just kicked out. Go on.
Lee Toki, he's a good guy. And because of that, and because he wants the fans to like him, there's only so much he's willing to do to get the victory. I don't care what the fans or anybody else thinks. No offense to them, but I'd do anything to see Mammoth end up the EWA champion.
You talk about what you'll do to get a victory. Lee Toki, a bit cheeky there. Oh, look at Shane Andrews getting the last blow on Frost as well. That's going to feel good. He had his feet on the ropes. That was a bit cheeky, to say the least.
Yeah, maybe I misjudged Lee Toki there, because that is a small example of him being willing to bend the rules a little bit to get the victory. And like you said earlier, wins and wins and wins and wins.
Yeah. Not everyone who's popular with the fans is against breaking the rules, and not everyone who breaks the rules is unpopular with the fans. It's not that black and white. Shane Andrews celebrating the win, but you got to think he wishes he got the win on Frost. Interesting point though, Lee Toki just pinned CJ. If CJ wins the EWA title next week, Lee Toki's got a claim there, right, to maybe have another crack at him. Yeah,
I agree, and I love that this is how wrestling works. It was just like anytime somebody becomes champion or does anything good, if you've ever beaten that person ever, you can go, not so fast. Yeah. Remember that one time?
I seem to remember back in 1972, I beat you. They all crawl out the woodwork. That's what we were saying about the massive target on your back as champion. But here comes Alan Clark. And he had an interesting week last week. He took on the debuting Sam Knight. Picked up a win, as we sort of expected. He had rib tape on. We hear he's recovered enough to not need the tape this week, but he's not going to be 100%. Rib injuries do not just clear up that quickly. But the good news is it's obviously not like a cracked rib or something, because that would take a lot longer to heal. But maybe just like a muscle pull in between the ribs or something, which is still incredibly painful, but not quite as bad as a cracked rib. But yeah, he picked up the win, and then Sam Knight, who got attacked earlier tonight by Cody, elected to stay in the ring with him and shake hands, and Alan Clark graciously accepted that, and showing he's a good guy, but not good enough to let someone win on the debut, you know.
Well, I think it's interesting that Sam Knight debuted out here last week, and then tonight he debuted in the hospital. But I want to know.
Wow, ruthless.
Listen, where was? Yeah, they shook hands last week, and then Sam Knight he got attacked, and nobody came out to help him. Nobody, not even the man who shook his hand last week.
Yeah,
what's that about?
Look at the play order. Alan Clark was 2 matches. Was only, well, at that point, 1 match away from his match starting. You know, only the tag match we've just seen in between that attack and this. He was probably showering, lacing his boots, doing his tape. He probably wasn't watching the monitors. He probably didn't know he was in a different locker room. Obviously, we saw that locker room was empty. If he'd have known, he may well have got involved, but he probably didn't know anything about it until after the fact. By the way, speaking of good people, here's one that's not. Misery, his opponent, has made no bones about not really caring about what the fans think and not caring about being a good person, just wants to pick up wins. But he has been struggling a little bit of late, but he took a count-out loss to Richard Anderson, which he's still a bit sore about. He took that loss in the 6-man tag where this whole issue between himself, Richard Anderson, and Lee Toki in the last match, you know, broke out, where they're all blaming each other for that loss. I think we can safely eliminate Lee Toki from blaming that loss, by the way, in the 6-man tag to Funhinge, because he showed tonight he can be a good tag partner.
Yeah, he definitely showed that, and I think what's really difficult here, if you're Misery and you've been kind of on a little bit of a losing streak, is you've now been pitted against Alan Clark, and Alan Clark, he's going to do anything he has to get that W. I'm thoroughly impressed by Alan Clark, and I think it's unfortunate that Misery's gone up against him tonight, but the flip side of that is if Misery can pick up a win, he should be really proud of himself because Alan Clark doesn't lay down for any man.
Yeah, look at that ground and pound early on by Misery. He wants this win. But yeah, going up against Alan Clark, always tough. He's proved himself. He's not... I don't think he's ever gone on like a massive win streak. He loses occasionally, you know, like there's, as does everyone eventually in professional wrestling. But his win differential, his win-loss ratio is one of the best in the company, to be honest. He's only taken a couple of losses. He's picked up a lot of wins. You know, it's going to be a tough fight for Misery. We talked about him being a tough fight for Sam Knight to debut against last week. But like you said, when you've got some negative momentum to try and overcome, you know, some losses on your record recently, it can be a tough battle. And against Alan Clark, there's no easy battle against him. It's been pretty close and back and forth at the moment, though. Uh-oh.
Here we go, Alan Clark.
Oh,
my goodness.
As we all know, I'm legally obliged to tell you that's the hardest part of the ring. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. And there's nobody that knows it better than Misery right now.
Yeah, Misery can attest to that, absolutely. Taking a DDT right onto the apron. Nasty stuff. Oh, fighting back, though. Showing his toughness. Look at this back and forth from these two. We see this so much in EWA matches where they just go back and forth, exchanging momentum, especially early in matches. Oh, that was an amazing moonsault by Alan Clark.
Yeah, it was beautiful how high up he got.
Yeah, and the form on it, the arms out, the legs perfectly straightened together. Just very nicely executed moonsault. And it connected, which is the important bit. How pretty it looks is one thing, but if you then hit nothing but mat, it's not a good moonsault. Yeah, man. You know, Misery, he's got to, I would say he's got to pick it up here and find a way to get the upper hand. But again, as we mentioned, he's in the ring with Alan Clark. It's not like that's easy to do. Oh, what's he got in mind here? This might do it. He's hooking the arms. What's he going to do here? Oh, a face buster right off the top. That'll slow Alan Clark down. I'd have gone for a pin off that person, but Misery, sensing blood in the... what's this expression? Blood in the water?
Yeah. Could this be it?
No. 1 count. Wow.
What is this thing where you can't keep Alan Clark down? You could throw an 18-wheeler truck at him and he'd still kick out. What is that?
It's just super tough. Like, what can I say? Oh, that was a straight right hand to the jaw, though, as Alan Clark was trying to crawl to his feet. Misery having none of it. And now look at this, knees to the ribs. Going after that injured area of Alan Clark. He might be partially recovered, not needing the rib tape anymore, but he might do next week after this battle. Oh, and again, slams him down on the ribs. Misery seems to have developed a game plan. But Alan Clark, just like that, back on his feet, back in control. Oh, here we go. It's the crowning achievement. He loves to hit that sliding knee to the face. Gets a 2 count, gets it. Oh, no, Misery kicks out just before the 3.
Listen, I understand wrestling strategy. Don't get me wrong. But I've always hated that part of the business where somebody knows that their opponent is injured somewhere and they continue to work that body part.
You hate that?
Well, I feel bad. You know, Alan Clark, he's got damaged ribs, and I can only imagine how painful it is. Listen, the only ribs I deal with have barbecue sauce on them. But this guy is out here. He's fighting for his life. And Misery, to his credit, he's going after the ribs, and anybody would do that. But, man, it's just to make your opponent suffer in that way just to pick up a victory.
I don't know. You praise wrestlers for doing whatever it takes to pick up the win, and then you critical of body part targeting. I would argue that's just good strategy. Like, Alan Clark, if he were that way inclined, could happily take a few weeks off with a rib injury, and EWA management would absolutely understand that. He's just not that kind of a competitor, but he puts himself in that position where he wants to fight Misery. Well, not specifically Misery, but he wanted to fight tonight. He gets Misery. Misery targets the ribs. You know, it's kind of on him that. You know, that's his fighting spirit coming back to bite him a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough, and I know given the choice, he's going to choose to fight every time. You can't keep this man down. But I'm just thinking about myself, honestly. If my ribs were hurting, I would not want somebody slamming me on them.
Hey, sounds like you got plenty of spare ones going on. Just, you know, spare ribs.
Spare ribs.
Yeah, just replace one of them. Oh, there's another crowning achievement. Now that's got to be enough to put Misery away. And this one, no, 1 count. Wow. I was going to say this run that Alan Clark's on, assuming he was going to win then, is it all the more impressive considering the injury he suffered. Oh, drops a nice knee to the face. I mean, I'm sure Misery didn't think it was nice, but technique-wise, it was very nice.
Yeah, Misery, he's got to be thinking to himself, as he's now kicked out of 2 of Alan Clark's crowning achievements. He's got to think to himself, I'm going to... Oh, my God.
That's a hell of a bump to take with bad ribs. Oh, but that's not going to be nice for Misery either. Alan Clark gets the knees up on the splash. Go on, continue your point, sorry.
Yeah, Misery seems like he's wanting to do literally whatever it takes. I mean, he's finding hard, and he's pulling energy out of places that he didn't know he had it.
Oh, across the middle rope. Alan Clark, did you notice then, playing smart, getting back in the ring? When you've got an injury, you don't want to be fighting outside the ring on very thin mats on concrete. That's the last thing you want. But look at that, another big move by Misery. 2, and he puts Alan Clark away with it.
Oh my goodness.
That Misery would hate to hear you say this, but I think most people would agree, based on current form alone, that's an upset. That's a hell of a win for Misery to get himself back on track in EWA. He has to capitalise on this.
Yeah, and I'm shocked, and it's not because Misery isn't amazing, but Alan Clark, the fact that he went down like that in that fashion, man, Misery was not going to accept no for an answer tonight.
Yeah, Alan Clark doesn't drop a lot of matches, so when he does, we always sound surprised, and that's a big win for Misery. Next match. Here we go. Another challenger for the EWA Championship, looking to build momentum, building up to next week. You know who it is.
Oh, here we go.
Someone we're both pretty big fan of. He's a hell of a competitor in EWA. Getting his first formal title shot in a week. Will he capitalise on that? You know, he missed out on the finals of the EWA Championship Tournament, as we discussed, losing to CJ. He's going to be in a match with CJ. He's got to have revenge on his mind, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know that he ever thinks about anything else. And you know what I've got on my mind? I've brought a bag here to ringside, ready to catch some of the dollars that are getting ready to rain down.
And then you can go and buy yourself some barbecue ribs. Win-win.
Exactly.
So, one thing I have to ask you, how do you think Payne's feeling after last week, after CJ earned his way into the championship match? A man who has beaten Payne one-on-one earns his way. So not only do Payne's odds of winning go down just because there's an extra man in the match, but it's an extra man who has beaten Payne before. How do you think Payne's feeling about his odds? Do you think he's lost any confidence? I know that's a strange concept to even discuss with Payne, but he's not a stupid man. He knows his odds of winning have gone down, and the probability of, him losing without even being involved in the fall is now a thing. How do you think he feels about that?
I mean, I gotta imagine that he is irritated. But the thing about Payne is, I don't think he's ever woke up a day in his life believing that he was gonna walk into the ring and lose. So for him, he'd probably tell you that it's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter who's in that ring or what's going on. He believes in his heart that he's going to walk out the new EWA heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I get that, but he doesn't have to lose next week. He can be outside the ring, he can be down on the mat, and someone else can pin the other competitor, and he hasn't lost directly, but he hasn't won the EWA championship as a result. Oh, I should mention, by the way, a debutant. What a debut. You thought Sam Knight's debut last week was rough against Alan Clark. Imagine going up against Payne on your first match a week before he challenges for the EWA championship. And a week after he got the bad news that it's now going to be a triple threat. This could be the worst timing of a debut ever for this man, Sparky.
Sparky, actually, I don't know anything about him. What can you tell me about him?
Very little. I'm looking forward to finding out about him. Same as when Sam Knight debuted last week. EWA management with these new signings play things close to the chest. I like to experience the wrestler, same as the fans. So we're going to find out. He doesn't seem to be playing to the fans very much, but whether that'll make him popular like Payne or unpopular remains to be seen. He runs at Payne, but then thinks twice about it. Don't think twice. Do not think twice in this business, especially not when you're in the ring with Payne.
I'm not in the ring with Payne, and I definitely thought twice about it. I was like, I don't think this is a good idea.
But we don't know anything about him. Payne's got to be careful here. We don't know if Sparky's going to pick up what we would now call an upset, but in a year's time would be like, well, yeah, of course Sparky won that. He's the best thing in EWA. We just don't know where this is going. So, I mean, at the moment, it's not looking great for him. Got to be honest. But we don't know anything about him. We don't know how resilient he is. We don't know if Payne's just going to be able to put him away in a couple of minutes, or if he's going to frustrate Payne. He's going to, he's going to let Payne punch himself out in a way. We just don't know anything about him.
By the way, Payne is just physically imposing. Again, we're sitting out here, and I'm looking at Payne, and I feel scared for Sparky. Yeah,
he's a big boy, and Sparky is no small human being by any stretch, but yeah, Payne looks massively imposing up against him. Takes him out. No, he holds on. He's on the apron. Oh, he dodges. Look at that. He's done his homework.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the advantage Sparky does have here. I know very little about Sparky. I highly doubt Payne knows very much about him. He doesn't have any tape to work off. Sparky seems to have forgotten to research which one is Payne, though. But referee holds on and climbs back in the ring. Good for you, ref, not taking the bump that time. But yeah, Sparky saw that move coming and moved out the way of Payne with his onslaught. That's an advantage Payne doesn't have, knowing what's coming.
Yeah, I agree, and it was good that he moved out the way, but then he didn't even go out there and continue to attack Payne. He just kind of let him recover at his own pace.
Yeah, he was maybe going for the count-out win, but you need to do more damage than that to get a victory over Payne, even by count-out. Sparky should know that if he's done his research. He dodges that jumping kick off the top rope, though, by Payne. Now, Payne, again, going to send him to the outside. What's he got in mind here? Oh, just deadlifts him up. Incredible strength and drops him into a Falcon Arrow. I don't think we've ever seen that from Payne before, have we? That was impressive.
I've certainly not seen it. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, look at the strength of Payne. Can anybody top that?
And look at the adaptability of Payne as well. He realises Sparky's done his research, so he busts out a brand new move. That's what I'm talking. This isn't a brand new move. We hate
this. This is not looking good.
I mean, it's all the competitive nature of Payne. He'll do anything to pick up a win here, but... And the fans like it, but Sparky, probably not a fan. And how many times is Payne going to hit that move before his back tells him maybe we should stop?
Ironically, he doesn't feel what his name is, and that's Payne.
Payne feels he may have done enough now to put Sparky away, just chilling in the ring. But Sparky's crawling around at ringside. Now Payne up on the top rope. Oh, Sparky dodges the attack. Third time he's dodged a big attack now, Sparky.
And yeah,
Oh,
Payne
oh!
lands straight on his back.
Yeah, and then Sparky landed right on his knee on the outside. That's not fun. Surprised he's still standing.
Does Payne care about the EWA championship? And if the answer is yes, then explain to me why he is putting his body at such risk right before the biggest title opportunity of his life.
Payne is just such a competitor. I think once he's in there, I think the instinct takes over. I don't think he's thinking a lot about self-preservation for next week. He's just thinking, what do I have to do to pick up the win here? And he'll do absolutely anything. But I agree. Might not be the smartest play. That's more smart. Drop him on his back and then punch him in the face. That's not doing you much damage. That's just hurting him.
I know you love this move, partner.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There's the research again from Sparky. Blocks the fastball punch. But doesn't get to capitalise. Oh, and there's a delayed punch. He finally got the hit. Oh!
I know they say wrestle every match like it's your last, but if Payne doesn't be careful, this may be his last match.
He's lining up another fastball punch now. Will Sparky block another one? No! Look at that.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
Doesn't go for the pin. I would. After the way Sparky fell, I get the feeling he might be out.
Oh, my God.
Oh!
Oh!
No mercy.
Jesus Christ. Please, leave some face for this young man.
He's not going to be able to taste barbecue ribs after this match. Not at all. His
Not
taste
at
buds
all.
off. Look at that
He's got
power
no
bomb.
teeth left.
Yeah. Oh, he's still in the fight though. He's reversing. I mean, as in the fight as he's ever been. Sends Payne across. Runs in. No, Payne back elbow. Sparky backing off though. Good move there. Getting some distance between him and Payne before Payne can build momentum. And a nice slam.
Here we go. What's Sparky waiting for?
Waiting for Payne to get to his feet. Maybe a mistake. Rings the arm. Oh, there's a forearm.
Oh, my goodness.
There's some more taste buds knocked off. Off the ropes though goes Payne. Bounces off Sparky. Oh! Takes the legs. Look at that.
Nice takedown.
Yeah, readjusts his position a couple of times and then sees the opportunity and starts throwing bombs. And there's the painkiller. He hasn't used that yet in this match, probably because he thought Sparky had it scouted, but he feels he's done enough damage now where maybe Sparky's not thinking too straight anymore. He's still getting some reversals in. He's just not capitalising on those reversals. Oh, but there's some capitalisation. Out the ring goes Payne with a clothesline.
And it's more pain onto his back out there. And I mean, he's going to really have to do some good rehab if he's going to walk into his EWA championship opportunity in any kind of good shape.
Yeah. But all three, I mean, CJ picked up a loss tonight, you know, so he's got the physical pain to go with the psychological pain of taking a loss. As long as Payne doesn't take a loss here, he might still be at an advantage over CJ. Don't discount the power of the mind in professional wrestling.
Yeah, well, for as hard as Payne has worked tonight, there is no guarantee that he won't take a loss because Sparky just won't quit.
That kick to the face might make him quit, though. He might roll out and just stay out. I would. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Takes a risk, but this time it pays off. Great forearm.
Beautiful form.
Oh, but again, Sparky fires Payne back into the ring. There's no quitting this new guy. Like, it's impressing me. He's not dominating Payne, which who has, let's be fair, but he's, like you said, no quit.
Payne just doesn't go for the pinfall. He's just going to keep going here. Uh-oh.
Oh, splats him face first. And then lifts him up. Oh, nice. Fireman's carry slam. What's he got in mind here? Oh, he rolls. Look at this.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think we've seen him bust this out, have we? If we have, not often.
Wow.
Great move by Payne. But he's not done. Wow. How much do you think you have to do to this kid to put him away?
I mean, when you're Payne, you can do whatever you want, clearly.
Oh, he went for the spear, and look at that. Knee up by Sparky. Goes for the pin. Thinks he knocks Payne out with that knee. No, just a one count. He felt good then about that. Oh, he goes for another pin. No, if you didn't pin him the first... No. If you didn't pin him the first time, you're not going to pin him the second time. Payne.
Sparky wants out of this match. Sparky wants to... He's like, let me go home, please.
Look at this. Payne really
goodness.
mixing it up today. He's throwing lefts there in the ground and pound. He's right-handed. Not to say he can't throw lefts, and he just showed he can then. But again, maybe because Sparky's expecting the offense from a certain side, he's mixing it up.
I think it's interesting that Payne could have ended this match multiple times. He wants to be in there fighting. He wants to be inflicting damage on his opponent.
Yeah, or could he? Maybe Payne recognises the toughness of Sparky and he's realised how much damage he's going to have to do. I don't. As much as Payne enjoys being in there and enjoys fighting, he's not paid by the hour. You know, I'm pretty sure he just wants wins at the end of the day. Oh, ducks
but looking at that baseball pitch, he didn't even go for the pin right there. He probably could have beat him.
Look at that. He thinks Sparky's number 2. He just showed him.
Oh, he's trying to kill this man. It's his debut, Payne, for Christ's sake. Let the man live to fight another week.
I think this is Payne giving credit to Sparky, you know? I really do. I think this is him saying, I recognise you're tough. I'm going to make sure I put you down.
God. Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. This man,
see? He goes for the signature move again and Sparky's still got the wherewithal. Payne is having to wear him down this much because Sparky will not go away. There's a painkiller by Sparky.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, not only has he been watching tape, he's been learning to emulate it.
Oh,
he can't put him away with that.
This.
Surely.
Payne can't go down like this.
1 count. Yeah, Sparky, you're going to need some more hits than that. Incredible performance by both men. Going for the second... Oh, wow. Referee wasn't even down and Payne kicked out the second time.
I love Sparky. He's like, come on, let me win.
I just want to get out of here. Oh! And there's how you do the painkiller. That's the pro doing it. Now, Sparky's slowly stumbling back to his feet. Payne, look at this. Oh, thinks he's number 2. Oh!
2-finger salute. Wow.
Oh, the stunner.
I'm stunned.
He didn't go for that all match. He waited for his moment when he didn't think Sparky would counter it, and he was right. Will he put him away with it? Yeah. Yes, he does. Great win for Payne, but great performance by Sparky. Showing the mental side of wrestling, both in terms of toughness and in terms of doing your research on your opponent.
Payne would tell you he was never in any real danger, but I gotta tell you, I was on the edge of my seat the entire match.
Yeah, great debut by Sparky. Not picking up the win, but you can't always pick up the win in your debut. You know, not everyone gets to do that and go on some ridiculous win streak. It's you're fighting experienced wrestlers who are in their stride at the moment. You know, especially Payne marching on towards an EWA championship match. It's a tough ask to ask someone to beat them in their first match.
I agree. And let's remind the fans that we're emanating here from Cleveland, Ohio. They are the lucky EWA fans that have gotten to witness so much amazing action here tonight.
I know the graphics department don't have it ready to come up on the screen, but Cleveland rocks and Soda Pulverized. Check the description for the link to their album. But it's main event time, partner. And we got Jackson Blake out here, who's had his issues with Payne. Seems to have accepted, at least for the time being, that Payne's got his number, move on to other endeavours, gain some experience, and he'll probably come back for him at some point.
Yeah, after the display that Payne just put on, acceptance is the best thing that could be had here.
Yeah, don't challenge him to any more matches. Not on the run that Payne's on at the moment. And by the way, let's just quickly talk about the advantage Payne now has over CJ. CJ lost tonight, Payne won. You know, you're trying to build momentum going into an EWA championship match. So does that even out the fact that CJ holds a win over Payne? Does that balance, do you think?
You know, I want to say that it balances it, but I kind of feel like Payne has got the slight edge here because, I mean, he really showed some stuff in there tonight. Not only did he show that he can go forever, you know, but he also showed that he has the power to end the match whenever he wants. And if he's not done inflicting damage on you, he's just going to keep it going.
Another thing I think he showed was adaptability. He was in there against someone who, let's face it, it's his first match. He's had no other matches to prepare for. So the moment he found out it was going to be Payne, he just started watching tape. He's got no future plans at the moment. You know, he's not got a future match to look past Payne towards. So he's looking just at Payne, and he scouted him so well. And Payne adapted. He broke out new moves. He varied up existing moves. He picked his moment to hit the stunner. He showed some great adaptability. But now Jackson Blake has the task of cutting the momentum, or keeping the momentum cut, of the EWA champion, who lost to CJ last week.
There he is. There's the man, Drake Doobie. And I'll tell you something, as he's shaking and gyrating down to the ring, I literally think about Drake Doobie dancing every day in my regular life. It's upsetting. I can't get the image out of my mind. It's so infectious, and this guy is so good. I'm very, very proud that he's the EWA champion, and I know all that's going to be put in danger. Coming up at the next Sunday special. What do you think, partner? Will Drake Doobie emerge still your EWA champion?
I don't know. This triple threat match against CJ and Payne, two of EWA's best, is difficult enough. But going into it, at the moment, his most recent result was his first loss. And let's not forget, the week before that, he didn't get pinned, but he lost twice. He got eliminated from a battle royal, and he lost the fatal 4-way without being pinned. He was in a multi-man match that he lost without being pinned. If that happens next week, he loses the championship. Drake Doobie has to turn his momentum round and fast. Otherwise, he's in a lot of trouble because, like I said, momentum is such a big thing in wrestling.
You're right. Yeah, momentum is a huge thing. So let's see what Drake Doobie can do here against Jackson Blake.
Oh, Superman punch from Jackson Blake to Drake Doobie. Is Drake Doobie a bit hesitant here? He's on the back of 3 losses. Yeah, only 1 pinfall, but 3 back-to-back losses in only 2 weeks. It's got to weigh on your mind, and he's having a slow start here against Jackson Blake.
And on the opposite side of that, Jackson Blake, who hasn't had a very good showing his first few weeks here in EWA, but he knows if he can pick up a pinfall victory on the EWA champion, it erases all that misfortune.
Yeah, and wow, talk about boosting you to the front of the line. If he wins here, and then Drake Doobie retains the title, Jackson Blake's going to be like, hi, only other person that's pinned you right here. Like, it immediately catapults you to the front of the line, beating the champion. It's got to, right?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So both these men, whether or not they realize it, but I'm guaranteeing you that they do, they both have so much on the line. This is not a regular singles match. This main event counts for so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially 1 week out from the next Sunday special. And it's interesting how many different ways there are of sort of cementing your legacy as the next challenger for a championship. We've had plain and simple, winning matches, and the ones with the most wins get put in the title match for the vacant, the vacant championship. That's a fair way to do it. We've seen a number 1 contender match. We've seen someone challenge the champion and say, if I beat you, I want a shot, and that worked. So beating the champion is definitely a way into a title match. This isn't officially to add Jackson Blake to the match. 1 week out, the match isn't going to change now, but it certainly could put him next in line if Drake Doobie retains. There's so many ways to get yourself into that position. You don't have to be on a massive win streak. Who you beat is just as important as how many wins you pick up.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll tell you right now, what we're witnessing is what you pointed out that we often witness, which is just a going back and forth between the 2 opponents in the ring. Except for Jackson Blake, who's been turned into a pretzel, seemingly.
I think we should point out Jackson Blake on a not exactly a great streak. I don't think he's picked up a win yet in EWA, but I don't think that's reflective of his quality at all. Like, a lot of his matches have been close encounters, have been competitive matches. He's putting on a good display here against the EWA champion. Just sometimes the chips don't fall your way, and at some point I fully expect Jackson Blake to make up for a lot of these losses, maybe even with some kind of win streak and some sort of charge at championship gold. But at the moment, he's in a rut, and they can be hard to get out of.
Yeah, you never know how these things can turn out. I mean, what's happening right now almost has no bearing on what could happen in the future. The tide could change at any given moment.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why once two wrestlers have fought, they are allowed to fight again in the future, because it can be a different result. If things never changed, once 2 wrestlers had fought, they'd never fight again. They'd be like, well, we know which one's better, move on. But that's not the case. The reason Jackson Blake wanted that rematch with Payne was because he knew this time I could win this one. Wrestling's very fluid, and momentum and confidence and everything play a big part in the equation. And so a year from now, Jackson Blake could be champion on a massive win streak, and Drake Doobie could be not able to buy a win. It's so variable that we'll just have to wait and see. That's why people keep coming back to watch this stuff.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the reason why somebody like Shane Andrews wants another crack at Frost, because as you mentioned, the person who lost just goes, you know what? That was then, and tonight is different, and we'll see what happens this time around.
Yeah, that was what, the better part of 2 months ago now. You know, it doesn't sound like a long time, but it's quite a lot of wrestling if you're wrestling matches weekly. You know, and Shane Andrews has been on a little bit of a hot streak. You know, he's probably thinking now's my time to want that second opportunity and make it different. Challenging the next week might not have been a good play. Oh, Jackson Blake just kicked out the Stoner Special, by the way. We're not really doing this match justice talking about all this stuff, but, you know, it's an interesting topic nonetheless. But yeah, that's exactly what you said, why Shane Andrews wants another crack at Frost. And a win here for Jackson Blake could be the difference between, you know, sometime next year him picking up the championship, you know, or sometime the end of this year, who knows. You know, it could be that soon, it could be the turnaround. But, or if he picks up another loss, he might struggle to build momentum. But look at this, he does his own version of the Stoner Special. 2 matches in a row we've seen finishing move mimicry. What is this? Oh, he almost put Drake Doobie away with his own move. That'd be a claim.
I was scared. I mean, this is the EWA champion. You can't go out like that.
Yeah, imagine the bragging rights of Jackson Blake. I imagine through his personality that he's shown so far and his brazen disregard for losses to pain and what have you, and his bordering on arrogance level of confidence. Imagine if he'd have picked up the win there, we'd never have heard the end of it. He'd have been requesting promo time every week just to remind us of that win.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about promo time, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, as much as I may question some of the content, I gotta say, hell of a promo there, partner. You had the fans captivated. They never stopped booing you in that entire time. So, you had their attention.
Yeah, I gotta love our interactive fans here at EWA.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a one-way street, that love at the moment there, partner. Oh, nice twisting suplex there by Jackson Blake. Goes straight in for the pin, but Drake Doobie's long limbs, which you've accounted to before, he's deceptively large and formidable as Drake Doobie, just as a human being. His limbs reaching out to the ropes there. Jackson Blake not quite calculating that correctly.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about Jackson Blake. He is hung in there, and he's really giving Drake Doobie a fight here.
And look at this, a roll-up. No, Drake Doobie kicks out at 1. Yeah, Jackson Blake in no way disgracing himself, and in no way has he really disgraced himself in previous matches in EWA. He's just, like I said, someone's got to win and someone's got to lose, and Jackson Blake's just been on the wrong end of that decision a fair few times, but I wouldn't say that makes him a bad competitor in EWA. I think he's capable of winning any match. By the way, Drake Doobie doing well to get out the way of that kick. He just tried to kick his head off. Anything to win.
Oh, but he couldn't get out of the wind of that DDT. And the way that Jackson Blake smartly wrapped up Drake Doobie's arm so he couldn't protect himself on the way down.
Yeah, extra impact on the head there. And look at this now, slamming the back of Drake Doobie's head into the floor. And now, I think, looking for that kick again. Drake moved once. Oh, he moves twice. Good job, really. I can't see anyone kicking out of that if that connects. That's a hell of a swing he takes. Oh, forearm from Jackson Blake. Fights Drake Doobie off. Drake Doobie steps out of range. He's got the reach advantage because he's so big. That was a good play by Drake Doobie there. Getting out of range and then coming back in with his own attack.
You see how slick he was? He just casually backing up and Jackson Blake swinging at air.
Uh-oh. Stoner Special again. He hits it slightly different than Jackson Blake did. He drops to his backside. Jackson Blake onto the knees. 1, 2, 3. Puts him away and the champ is back on the winning path. He's back in winning ways. You gonna contribute any last words there, partner? Or shall I see us out?
I just want to say, as always, it's amazing to see Drake Doobie do his thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see it again next week, I'm sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to check out Pulverize in the description. And yeah, see you next time.